Hey, I was thinking about something I came across, and it was the idea of having direction in our lives, and sometimes feeling like we don't have direction, or that we are lost, or maybe stuck, or however we might describe it. It feels like our life is moving and we don't know the direction, or we may feel stuck and we don't know a direction to go. And I really thought about that. And I think that feeling like your life doesn't have direction is actually the start of something. And it might be the start of realizing that we have, when you think about it, very, very little control over our lives. We like to think that we take action or do some kind of input and that creates some kind of result or output. And that is a feeling or a sense of control. Being able to do something and get something. And it's it's a it has I think it has to do with comfort and having a sense of maybe direction. If you walk forward, you move forward. If you walk to your right, you move to the right. You control your direction by controlling your input and your movement. What makes it what makes it even tougher is that there are there are messages and ways of thinking that convince us into believing that we control our destiny. We control our lives. Phrases like you get out what you put in, or there's more than I could possibly even really think of, but these these the kind of mindset where work hard, get the result. Okay, if you want more, you have to put in more. And those kinds of ideas are meant to provide you with a sense of control, that what you put in is what you get out. Here's the truth: you only control what you put in. You don't control what you get out. You control the input, you don't control the output. You're not a machine or a computer. You're the person maybe operating the machine or the computer, but you're a human being. You control your input, you don't control your output. So if life feels directionless, that is actually normal, because your life, if you think about it, what you experience, where you are, what you're doing, the amount of direct control that you have is actually, if this was life, the amount of control that you have is actually like maybe this. And all the rest, those are things that you don't control. And so the direction that your life is in, as a as a comfort to us, we want to feel like we are in control, but we're not. And one of the first things that we do is we attribute. sometimes even blame, right? Or point the finger and say, my life is directionless, and it's because I have no direction. And that's one way to look at it. But also consider that from the beginning, you only had this much control over this. A directionless life, it's actually more like having a stomach virus or the stomach bug, because it's something that happens to you and you simply either endure it or just go through it. If you get the stomach virus, you can't just fix yourself and end it. You have to endure it. And when you get a stomach virus, you can go back in your memory and think, okay, I think I was with this group of people, and one of them may have had a virus and they spread it to me. But something that we rarely do is to say, I got the stomach virus, this is all my fault. We control our input, but not our output. We live in the output, but we don't control it. So if your life feels like you don't have direction right now, you're at the first step. Maybe not the first step, but you're realizing and experiencing that your experience in this world, there's a lot more that goes into it than your input. And that's why it feels like there's very little direction. You still have control over your input, but keep in mind that when it comes to the output, you experience that, you don't control it. Want to know someone who has a very directionless life? It may be directionless, but it's mine.